details about the federal.
Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. What is up, YouTube family, X family, Facebook family? Welcome to our live stream. We are live, and I'm coming at you with 5, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting edition of Random Topic Sundays, the hottest live stream here on the YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or formerly known as Twitter, I should say, and now known as X in the cosmos. Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. We are preparing, ladies and gentlemen, for an Arctic blast. And I'm not just talking about a storm. I am talking about a political storm, as you say. There's 2 storms. We got the winter storm that is lasting all over the United States right now. For those of you who are not, well, obviously you are aware, especially if you're in the Midwest, if you're up north, and even here in the southern part of the United States, we got a freeze alert that's coming in this Monday. Tomorrow, of course, is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Now, and we want to just say, first off, we want to say a happy heavenly birthday to Dr. King. Of course, everyone calls thanks January 15th or the 3rd Monday of January, we celebrate Dr. King's Day. They consider it a day off. It is not a day off. It is a day of doing and to be active and so forth. So I encourage everybody to do some type of activity, especially any type of community service, anything you could do in our Black community to honor this great man, to honor the legacy of Dr. King. So special shout out to him and his family. Now, we have an Arctic blast coming, of course, but we also have a political blast that's going on, something that was brought to my attention on yesterday when I was listening to the Black Authorities channel. Now, of course, most of y'all are aware, because I talked about this on Thursday, that Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis was being investigated for an alleged inappropriate relationship with a special prosecutor in a Donald Trump election interference case out in Georgia. Fannie Willis is the district attorney of Fulton County, which is Atlanta. And now Fannie Willis, of course, is crying racism in this case, according to a report I'm reading from the Washington Post, a headline. Now, Fannie Willis is not the only politician that is crying foul. Now, when I was listening to the Black Authorities channel on yesterday, he was talking about how about these city girls, these mayors, especially how they're held up in high esteem and they're pushed and propagated by, we'll just call it the Democratic Party. And now we are seeing, especially in the last couple of years since they have been elected or reelected, they're about to finish their term, how they've gotten in trouble either with law enforcement or with governors and other uh, ethics complaints that have been filed, and one that is dealing, especially here in my hometown of New Orleans. We are not immune. Of course, Latoya Cantrell has been inundated with many complaints in her administration, and in particular for us, uh, we are talking about a federal investigation that is happening. Now, I will say, especially as a black man, it is not uncommon that many of these black political leaders will get hit with some type of scandal. As the old saying goes, and like Eddie Griffin said, no black person leaves this business clean. Well, no black man in entertainment leaves this business clean. No black political leader leaves the business clean either. Although I can't say the same for Andrew Jackson. I'm sorry, not I said Andrew Jackson. I was going to say Maynard Jackson. Of course, was someone who actually did great things in Atlanta. He made Atlanta the Black Mecca. But as Brother Jason Black pointed out, we are not. He started when I talked about Paul Howard running for DA and how we supported Paul Howard. Paul Howard was a man running against a political machine. And the exception is no different here in New Orleans. Now, your Latoya Cantrell is getting um, investigated by the feds for her alleged inappropriate relationship with with her bodyguard, Vappy. Now, I've been hearing about this for a long time. This is not new. In fact, Vappy has Vappy is the pappy. Jeffrey Vappy is an NOPD officer, and there have been a lot of questions regarding her relationship with him, especially spending the night at her private bungalow in the French Quarter. Um, her having her friends even staying there, like I said, Airbnb, charging the city monies for trips and stuff that they didn't think was necessary, all that type of stuff. Now, we're gonna play. I gotta say this: Lee Zurich for some has a hard on for the mayor. I will say that much. But this is the Arctic blast that's coming. All of these black politicians, even the mayor, that city girl mayor out in Illinois, out in Dalton, who actually changed the law to scam. She changed the law, Tiffany Hanger, to try and to keep her as mayor, to keep her in power in Dalton, and she's been in battle with taking monies from the school, charging them ridiculous salaries. And Fannie Willis is being accused of the same thing. But I want to play for you all the video from uh, Channel 8, Fox 8, which is the WVUE Fox affiliate out here in New Orleans, where they're talking about this investigation. Now, Lee Zurich, I'm going to talk through it because, of course, I could get hit with a copyright strike, but this is fair use. Now, Lee Zurich has always had, I think, a hard on for the mayor for some reason. Any type of scandal that go on, he the first to get the story. Oh, the mayor is accused of taking a bribe from the chief of police. Oh, the mayor, we got video footage of the mayor not wiping her ass when she stepped out of her bathroom on yesterday. All of this stuff, anything that's anti-mayor, he goes after. Any type of scandals, they get him. I remember when he was on WWL and they went at Ray Nagin and they sent him. So I want y'all to look at this.
Federal investigation into New Orleans Mayor Latoya Cantrell. As sources tell Fox 8, the FBI wants to know more about the time Cantrell spent with a member of her security detail.
And a crime watchdog says their questions closely mirror a case in Tennessee that resulted in charges being brought against a sitting mayor there. Here's our new Outside the Office investigation.
It was completely designed to humiliate me and to politically embarrass me.
6 years ago, the mayor of Nashville at first denied having an affair with her security detail.
Was he getting paid while you were having relations with him?
No.
Then Mayor Megan Barry took her bodyguard on taxpayer-funded trips out of town, while the two carried on a secret affair.
Do you think there was anything, though, that was inappropriate in terms of, did he really need to be there? Did he really need to be with you while you're going to a concert or something like that?
When I'm out, I'm working all the time. And so I let the police department make the decisions about how I should be staffed.
In 2008,
I'm working on that meat stick, baby. Yeah, Latoya Keating, you make a good point. 'Cause Keating, you from New Orleans, right? Cantrell has not done herself any favors with her behavior. No, she hasn't. Being out at the concerts, getting involved, uh, trying to fight people, uh, supposedly, but spending money. And talking, especially with the COVID protocols that they had in place, that didn't do any favors with a lot of people. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, it's all Democrats that are doing this. But let's move on. And God help her now, because Jeff Landry is coming in. Jeff Landry, who is a staunch Tea Party guy, staunch conservative, staunch Tea Party. I'll put two and two together. He's already talking about having the state police come and take over New Orleans because of all the crime. So a reckoning is coming.
18, Barry and her bodyguard pleaded guilty to state charges of felony theft. Tennessee investigators looked at the 10 city-funded trips Barry took with her bodyguard and the tens of thousands of dollars in overtime the bodyguard collected while claiming to protect the mayor. The charges centered around an affair while taxpayers paid the bodyguard.
The mirror images of what happened in Nashville and what we see playing out here.
And now sources with knowledge of the ongoing investigation into New Orleans Mayor Latoya Cantrell say federal investigators are asking similar questions here about the mayor and her bodyguard, NOPD officer Jeffrey Vappy. While the charges would be different from the Nashville case, federal versus state, sources say the concept of both investigations appear to be the same.
Oh, the similarities are that you're talking about a police officer that was part of an executive protection team for the mayor of Nashville, was billing the city for work that he was not actually performing. So if he was not protecting the mayor, was engaged in a personal relationship, that essentially would have been the basis of the state charges that resulted in him being charged, in the mayor of Nashville being charged and ultimately resigning. This would just be taking the same principles to the federal side of the ledger.
Sources with knowledge of interviews federal investigators conducted say FBI agents have recently been asking questions about Vappy and Cantrell, their relationship, and the time the two have spent together.
Now, FYI, guys, who have been following this case, especially Keenan, you know this. They have even they've put up the divorce proceedings. Vappy's wife has filed for divorce against her husband, alleged adultery. And she has mentioned the woman by name, although she didn't mention Latoya Cantrell by name. She put her initials in the petition, a person known as LC. A lot of these investigative reporters are. They use these cases, they use the mayor's office to get a come up so they can get on CNN or NBC, MSNBC.
Mayor Cantrell has repeatedly denied a relationship with Vappy.
As I've stated, based on the false allegations that come my way, by the time I finish this job, literally, accused of sleeping with half of the city of New Orleans, both genders and all pronouns. I'm known as Teddy sometimes and then Teddy other times. So with that, false allegations do not, that's basically all I have to say about it.
Our outside the office investigation found Vappy spending long hours inside the city-owned Upper Pentaba apartment, sometimes leaving late at night alone, not protecting the mayor when she left after midnight. Vappy's wife filed for divorce, claiming in court records Vappy admitted the affair, something Vappy and Cantrell both say is untrue.
As it relates to my professional relationship with Officer Vappy, that's where it is. It's strictly professional.
In months' worth of public security camera video obtained by Fox 8, Vappy is the only officer to ever enter the Upper Pentaba apartment. Other members of the mayor's executive protection team, in interviews with police investigators, even called the relationship troubling.
So do you feel like his actions embarrassed the unit?
I would say so, yeah.
You feel like he crossed that line of professionalism with his protection duties?
The way it looks, yeah, look bad.
And you talked to him about that?
Yeah.
All right. Did you talk to any of the NOPD guys about that?
I think we talked as a whole. Yeah, as a whole.
What do you mean when you say as a whole?
Well, because they noticed it. They witnessed it.
And when you say they, give me some names.
Jeff, Robert, and Lewis.
Okay.
Robert and Lewis. So they all noticed it. So, we were like, what is this dude doing,
The head of the Metropolitan Crime Commission says to pursue a case like this, the federal government must have more than circumstantial proof.
I don't believe the government will charge the mayor or Officer Vappy strictly on circumstantial evidence. I think that they would have a higher standard than that. And I think that if they do charge them with that, it's because they believe they have sufficient evidence to meet the burden of proof to prove them guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Goyeneche says he believes this is just one piece of the federal investigation, that FBI agents and the U.S. attorney are looking at other potential corruption with the mayor. One source told us recently investigators asked whether the mayor or Vappy received anything of value from parties who are regulated by or do business with the city. Our prior investigations detailed the FBI is also looking into clothing purchases made for Cantrell by our image consultant. And last year, both Cantrell and Vappy hired well-known criminal defense attorneys. Goyeneche believes the pace of this investigation shows it might be coming to an end soon, in the next few months.
We'll find out sooner rather than later because this investigation is either going to result in an indictment in the near future or it's just going to dry up and blow away. And I think that because this has reached the point that it has, where grand juries have been convened and evidence has been assembled.
We want to note that right now, Cantrell and Vappy have not been accused of any criminal wrongdoing. We reached out to Cantrell's attorney, Eddie Castang, and Vappy's attorney, Harry Rosenberg.
So why are we insinuating he hasn't been accused?
No comment.
There has been no criminal activity as of yet. So there's no crime that has happened. This is an investigation. Of course, Mayor Cantrell is not the only one. We also have Fulton, as I mentioned, Fonnie Lewis. This also was reported out. This came out. So she was at a church service and spoke and defended her office.
Week in the historic Georgia election indictment, the biggest headline, a possible secretive relationship between Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis and another top prosecutor. The defendant who filed the claim wants his charges dismissed. Atlanta News First political reporter Doug Reardon is live at 5 on this. And Doug, others, including former President Donald Trump, are asking for the same thing.
Right, Blair, and they would get the same result if it happened in court. So as you mentioned, Trump's attorneys today in court pondered the idea of jumping in on that bombshell motion that we have been reporting on all week. It was filed on Monday by his co-defendant, Michael Roman, a former Trump campaign official. And like we were talking about, if anything comes out of this motion, Roman is asking to have his charges dismissed. Anyone who has joined on it would appreciate that same benefit as well.
Suffice it to say that they are salacious and scandalous in nature.
In court Friday, Donald Trump's Georgia attorney, Stephen Sadow, pondered the idea of jumping on board a bombshell motion that claims District Attorney Fonnie Willis and her special prosecutor, Nathan Wade, were romantically involved. It was filed on Monday by Trump's co-defendant, Michael Roman. Neither Willis nor Wade have responded yet, and Sadow said he'd like to wait and hear what they have to say.
It's one thing to adopt a motion that brings up a matter of law. This is different.
If Trump and other defendants adopt that motion, whatever the court decides will apply to everyone who joined on.
So if all of these defendants, so this is just Trump's co-defendant, but if all of them jump on into this, if this is granted, now this is in Georgia, you're not in New Orleans. Now this is in Fulton County, this is Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta is supposedly the Black Mecca, but there has been, I want to say, a change happening in Atlanta. We know it is not the same for when Maynard Jackson was mayor, not even when Andy Young was mayor. Hell, even I'd even see Kasim Reed. Something is happening in Atlanta. I don't know what it is. But Trump is going to jump in on this. This is going to be, if this backfires on Fannie Willis, it's not going to be nice for her career.
That means if charges are dropped or the case is moved for Roman, it would be for everyone else too. Also Friday, Sadow sparred with Wade, who was in court for the first time since the allegations surfaced over his communication with the Congressional January 6th committee. In an earlier filing, Sadow claimed the state may not have been turning over everything they got from the committee, documents that may be vital to the former president's defense.
I'm not suggesting that there's been any wrongdoing. This is not a J6 shouldn't have shared with DA or vice versa. This is just trying to get to the basic notion of what it is that may be out there that was shown to the DA's office.
Wade said the state has nothing to hide.
Everything that was shared in that conversation was made publicly available through the Jan 6 committee when they released all of their documents. So everything that we talked about, everything that they shared was publicly released.
And as for when the district attorney's office might file their response to those allegations of that improper relationship, we asked, they still do not have a timeline. Outside the Fulton County Courthouse, Doug Reardon, Atlanta News First.
So yeah, and you have House Republicans launching a probe of DA Fannie Willis.
It's in the election meddling case against former President Donald Trump and his co-defendants right here in Fulton County.
The House Judiciary Committee is now investigating Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. And Atlanta News First anchor and attorney Joy Lim Nakron joins us now with the latest on this. Joy.
Atlanta, Fannie Willis wanted the spotlight. Here is the other half of that. You pray for the rain, you got to get the mud too. That's what Denzel said, the equalizer. So
Sean, just within the last few hours, Congressman Jim Jordan, chair of the House Judiciary Committee, announced the investigation. In a letter, he expressed concern about politically motivated prosecutions and potential misuse of federal funds. And this comes just days after one of the defendants in the election interference indictment moved for his charges to be dismissed over an alleged improper relationship between Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade and Fulton County DA Fannie Willis. The committee cites this alleged relationship in its letter and states, quote, "We believe that you possess documents and information about the coordination of the Fulton County District Attorney's Office with other politically motivated investigations and prosecutions and the potential misuse of federal funds," and goes on to state, quote, "The committee has serious concerns about the degree of improper coordination among politicized actors, including the Biden White House, to investigate and prosecute President Biden's chief political opponent." Now, DA Willis has been subpoenaed to testify in Wade's divorce proceedings. Neither has responded to the allegations. We do know Wade was in court today during the latest hearing in the Georgia election indictment. Political reporter Doug Reardon will have a closer look at today's court proceedings live at 5.
Accusations of an improper relationship between.
All right. So Fannie Willis actually spoke at a historically black church. She spoke at an AME Big Bethel, defending her office. Now I'm trying to see if we got video footage of it, but of course, y'all know they're gonna eat. If she in church, they're gonna eat this up. I've been to a black church before. Whenever they speak, oh, God got me. Oh, yeah. Okay. So here it is here. Yeah, so this is from Atlanta News First. So this is a 42-minute.
I hope for y'all this week.
You know, them teeth back there. Damn.
I don't look like what I've been through. I want y'all to know I pulled out my most lavish $29.99 dress from Ross. And here I stand to talk to you this.
All right, I'm having some technical difficulties. Sorry, some technical difficulties right now, guys. But I don't know what the hell.
I hope for y'all this week.
The hell's wrong with the video?